So it's kind of late last night, like I think right around midnight, and I get a little text from Bill. You know Bill. Guy was at my house, C60 in the back porch that one time. He recently drove to Sharon Michelle's area. I guess it was 11 or 12 hour drive. I mentioned this the other day. And him and his wife both got a reading, and his wife needed a secondary kind of a thing. And the next day she got it, and it was really interesting. But Sharon Michelle I swear I thought I was listening to an Edgar Casey session where he'd lay down. They used to call him the sleeping prophet. And he'd lay down and like fold his arms over his abdomen or something, and then he'd go into this like trance and channel, you know, the entity or something. And people could walk in there at that point and they'd donate. They would just accept donations and ask him questions. And you know, this guy had like a 6th or 7th grade, I think, maybe education. That's it. And the things he could tell you when he was in this state was unbelievable. All of it's recorded, and I don't mean audio like you can listen to it, because we're talking early 1900s even, but recorded as in on paper, the session, what the questions were, what his answers were, and there's a massive like log of this stuff in the, I forget what it's called, the, you know, I'll just say like the Edgar Casey Institute, whatever. It's not that, it's something else, but they set it up a long time ago. It's a non-profit thing, and there's a whole slew, maybe every single one he's ever done, I'm not sure. And you know, with him, people would ask like about, you know, who's gonna win the horse race, and who's gonna, you know, more greed-filled questions, and he'd get sick after answering those kinds of questions, but he'd answer them and he'd be right. And the family kind of caught on. Okay, every time those kind of questions come in, he gets sick. Okay, got it. We're now going to field the questions and we'll go ask him. We're not just going to let anyone walk in here and do it like they would before. And that way he wouldn't get sick. Because there's a lot of people asking him questions about, you know, how do I get rich, and for all the wrong reasons, you know. So it's okay to be wealthy and, you know, again, I feel like, in my opinion anyways, wealthy and, you know, do something with the money. Don't just hoard it like these elitists do, these 1%ers, and go buy their giant McMansions all over the earth. Oh, I've got 5 houses and this and that, and I've got this and I've got that. And then they don't do nothing, don't help nothing, don't want to change anything, you know, like, my opinion. But when they would ask him some of these questions, he'd answer them, but he'd get sick. But he would channel something, and it would essentially be answering the questions. And some of the sophisticated and whatever kind of answers he'd give. I mean, this guy, again, 7th or so, maybe 8th grade education. This guy was no genius. And then when he'd get back to normal, you know, when he was done, he was back to himself, and he didn't know anything about what just happened, you know, about his answers or anything. You know, he was answering medical questions and all kinds of stuff. So that was real neat, you know, like, oh, wow. So Bill texts me and is like, hey, the golf captain, you know, that's Sharon's husband, Jared. I think it was him. He said, or either she did or he did, one of them, sent Bill a little video on YouTube. It's not the golf captain's video, by the way, but I feel like I might ask first, like, hey, you guys mind if I share this, or that kind of thing, because I do have her phone number. Like I said, I talked to her the other day. Real nice lady. But I think they'll probably do. I mean, it's public on YouTube, so I don't think there'll be a problem with that, actually. But I felt like I might want to ask first before I, you know, put the link in the description box of this video or whatever. But it was probably about a half hour or so, 30-35 minutes maybe, and I'm listening to it, and she is channeling Edgar Casey style, if you will. And Jared, this is 2015, the year 2015, and Jared's asking questions, you know, is there going to be an economic collapse coming and this and that? And she says, no, not this year. No. You know, these things come in cycles. And when you hear Sharon Michelle talk normally, when she's like, you know, when I was talking to her on the phone or whatever, or in Jared's videos, you hear how she talks and that sort of thing. And something just hit my arm. I'm like, what the hell is that little tiny leaf? What the hell, you know? Yeah, that's normal inside your car. You know, unless it somehow got into the vents from outside. But anyways, so it's funny because some of these trance-like states, people don't talk like themselves. So he's asking a bunch of questions and trying to get clarification on stuff. Is there going to be a collapse? You know, are there earthquakes to be concerned about coming up and this and that? And she's answering these things pretty good, you know, like in my opinion. And she got on the election. He's like, you know, in the election coming up next year, whatever, 2016. And I don't know how the exact question went, but like, you know, how do you see that going? Or, you know, is Barack Obama gonna remain in office? Is he gonna, you know, is there gonna be martial law and so on? She's like, no. And she says, though, she wouldn't say he, the president, or she, the president, like coming up for 2016. But she said, there's two that would be good. One of them will win, and it'll be a huge surprise. Well, it will not be expected. It will not be expected. And then maybe he asked a secondary question or something like, you know, is it a good or bad person? You know, like another deep state kind of a thing. Not in those words, but and I can't remember. Did she just continue, or did he ask something? I don't remember. But she went on and says like, this person will be good, you know, good for the country. You know, and he's like, well, are they going to be able to do this? And you know, she's like, they're going to try. They will try. In other words, a good, you know, they're going to fix some things. They're going to try. Well, what about this? They'll try. They're going to try, give it their best, you know. And I'm like, oh. And it was all positive. Like, whoa, okay. They're going to try. They're going to go for it. They're going to do it. They're going to try. And I'm thinking, this is, you know, the upset was Donald Trump. The upset was Donald Trump. Let's face it. Even though, you know, Webbot nailed that thing. You know, you will what's the outcome? You know, what's the outcome of the election? What's the outcome of the election? Does the Webbot pick up on that stuff? Well, the Webbot put it in so many words, which was, you're going to be absolutely shocked the day after the election. You will be shocked how it goes. We were all expecting Hillary Clinton. Now, when she channeled this, she said a man and a woman. Either choice would be okay. In other words, would be a positive change. And I'm thinking, ain't no Hillary. But I was like, wait a minute, Jill Stein, right? Wasn't Jill Stein that also ran? And to be fair with you all, you know, well, the independents and these no-name people, they never make it. Well, all right, fine. But the woman who was running, again, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't it Jill Stein? What's her name? I thought would have been, you know, looking at her background, look what she believes in. Hey, this woman probably would be pretty damn good. We all know Hillary Clinton would not be. But Jill Stein, I think, was, you know, because I'm like, man, there wasn't no other woman. That leaves Hillary and Trump. There's no way it would have been good with. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Not Hillary, the other lady. Okay. Because she said it would be, there's a man and a woman. Either there's two, you know, there'll be two that would be good, basically. A man and a woman. Either would be good. And I'll be honest, I think because we got Trump, no disrespect to Jill, but man, I think we got the right guy in there to deal with this stuff. And she talked about how, you know, things are going to change. It'll be for the better, but there's going to be some little bit of pain. There's going to be some problems, things we're going to have to deal with. Weeding out the deep state type of stuff and the darkness and the light and all this, you know, like people, because I think he asked, are we in the age of Aquarius? Are we entering the age of Aquarius? We've all heard that. And she says, yeah, we already have started. We've already started that process. and what we would call that or whatever. And he says, is it true that we're entering a golden age? And she says, yeah. He's like, what we would consider or what we've been taught is the golden age. And she said, yes. And there'll be some good things coming. And he's like, what would you tell the average, person, if you just wanted to say something to people, that I can relay to them, what, and this is Jared asking, and she says, wake up. The people need to wake up. And she said it a few times, and he was maybe trying to ask a little slightly different question. It was they need to wake up, and help them wake up. The information they need to see, they need the information. In other words, that's how they'll be awake, like you and I already know. Whether it's someone like me on YouTube telling you, look at this, look at holy crap, look what they're doing over here. The deep state being exposed, the QAnon stuff coming out, showing everything that's going on. Wake up, people. These conspiracy theories you thought were ridiculous are actually conspiracy fact. Not everything, but some. And some that are the real deal. It's whoa, that was pretty deep. If that's real, holy crap, what else? Then that's where the mind goes. And once your mind goes there, that's part, believe it or not, that's part of the waking up process. Is, well, if that was a lie, if they did that and they were able to trick us on that, or whatever, holy moly, what else? And then the little things that you used to just throw away as us conspiracies, I don't even believe in that. I don't care. I know my friend said this and they believe in it. I don't believe in that. All of a sudden, that's gonna come right back rushing into your mind. Whoa, wait a minute. Hey, maybe. I couldn't believe what I just saw is now true. There was no way Donald Trump was spied on. His phone line tapped. That's ridiculous. Oh my God, it was true. Oh my God, it was actually worse. And then, we got Robert Mueller stepping in to, investigate Russian collusion. And then they're burying him, exposing more deep state stuff. Your mind's on overdrive. What the? I can't take it. It's too much. It's too fast. Slow down. Some people, not most of us. No, we know. But it was a really interesting, session or whatever. And you remember I was telling you, I kind of briefly mentioned this a little bit last. I think it was my live stream, maybe. I think, and I was saying how, and I realized after maybe it wasn't a live stream, but when I was done, I was I started to talk about something. Excuse me. I was going somewhere, as I usually do. And then I don't think I finished the original thing I wanted to say, but I'd already stopped recording and everything. I was whatever. And I think where I was going with that is I said, Jared, the Gulf captain, they're kind of, sort of, newlyweds, if you will, right? And remember, and I think I mentioned this too, Spirit had told her, in 1994, she's frantically writing, Spirit is unloading on her, and she's like, whoa, I gotta find something to write on, just writing all this stuff down. Yes, you're gonna get married, you're not gonna have a lot of money at first, but after you get married, you guys come into some wealth, and you won't believe what you guys end up with, wealth-wise. In so many words. And I'd asked her, how long you been married? Thinking, that was 1994, you've probably been married to Jared for a long time, and I'm thinking, if it's cryptos, man, how many years are you waiting? What is this wealth thing? Pleased to know, they barely have been married not that long. Great, because now if she gets some little extra wealth, which, by the way, they're in cryptos, like I mentioned Digibyte, because that was one of her top things that she got, whoa, this bulldozer bulldozing, and then it turns into this big gold, thing. It's gonna be great. You're gonna have to wait for it, though. So, put your money where her mouth is. I'm gonna get some. And I'm thinking, well, man, I get another story of, man, it sounds like cryptos are gonna really hook some people up. But Jared works as a captain. That's why his name's the Gulf Captain. He actually is a captain of a ship, and he does cruise, or not necessarily cruise, but tour things in, I believe, Alaska. And there's 2 seasons to that. One I think is out in the ocean, and the other one is inland in the rivers. So he kind of does 2 separate shifts throughout the year. But and this Crypto Dragon kid, whether he completely fails on Red Coin or somehow knocks it out of the park. Again, I'm giving him 2 weeks into July. That's what he's asked for, so that's what I'm giving him. Totally fine. For his Red Coin thing to be epic. But he offered her some advice, similar, me too, of, hey, you should start a Patreon. You don't have to charge these high fees or anything. It's just you, really. Or in this case, maybe Jarrett would handle it. Or Jared, excuse me. And, $10 a month. You get a few hundred people, man. You could live off that. And, something like that. I'm like, I'm trying to give her some advice. Maybe do two a month or this or that. You could do this, But after seeing this channeling, I didn't realize she channeled like that. Edgar Casey style. So I'm thinking, guys, like Jared and Sharon Michelle, hey, I think I just, sealed the deal for you guys on some Patreon stuff. Why don't you do some of these channelings maybe once a month? And you can get questions from your Patreon members. Sure, you can't, you end up getting 400, 500, 800 people. Everyone's got a question, and the questions aren't going to be about those people. Like, they need to be humanity, helping questions, whether it's, more earthquakes coming, and this time, we can have, you want your doom and gloom questions answered, fine. You want some other questions, economic questions, fine, But don't be like, hey, member so-and-so asked if they're, going to get married. We're not talking that. We're, of course she wants to, she could, I'd say, but in my opinion, I would not do that. I would just say, hey, people, give us some good questions, we're going to weed through them. Jared will, for sure. And maybe he comes up with 10, 12, 15 questions. Month number 1, okay, that's part of the Patreon. They do it, twice a month. It could be cryptos, one of those times. It could be geopolitical stuff or something else, who knows, one time. Then the next month, maybe it'll be cryptos again, and then instead of the geopolitical stuff, maybe about the earth chain stuff, things like that. Whatever, just kind of mix it up, give people a little variety. And, you don't want to talk about the same exact type of stuff or topic every single time. But at the same time, some of that stuff is nice to be updated on. Cryptos each month. Hey, how's it, things like that. It wouldn't be bad. But I thought, man, add one channeling per month. Again, maybe 10 questions, whatever it is, 10, 15 questions. And then you put it on Patreon. The thing with them, though, they're like, we want to offer, remember when he was on YouTube, we really don't want to charge for stuff, we like to give information for free, which is why Jared would kind of pick some questions as far as cryptos and give it to his wife, and then she would answer them, and they'd upload the video for free. And I feel like, because part of what I had told her, I said, I know you guys felt that way. And she's like, but it really stinks that Jared has to do this work kind of thing, and I don't see him for sometimes 2 months. Then he comes back, and then a week or 2 off, then he goes back, and then it's over for the rest of the year, and then I get him the rest of the year, and that's nice. But man, it'd be real nice if he was able to just do something here. And I'm like, man, listen, you need to do a Patreon. And I threw some numbers at her and said, would that cover, this many people times $10 a month equals this, I was like, and I'm thinking you could get there. Here's a higher number. You might get there, by the way, and if you get there, you're going to be living pretty nicely, actually, with that kind of income. But maybe it's half that. It is still good income. And she said, yeah, even the half would be good, would totally work. So I said, okay, so I said, look, I think I want to try to help you get set up on this. I'm not asking for money, by the way. I'm not saying, break me off a piece. No. This is like, I'll help you set up your Patreon if you need some help. And that's all you deal with it. You handle it. It's going to be your deal. It's going to be your, subscribers, and I will push for people to join you, because a lot of my subs like that stuff. Not everybody, but some definitely do, and they're totally willing to get updates like that. But I said, you can't charge and give it for free too, because no one wants to just donate some money every month just because, so I said what I'd recommend is still do some of the video stuff you guys have been doing for free. That way people get some of the info out there that may be important to some people. So keep doing that. Don't just throw that away, obviously. Not that they were going to, but I'm just telling them this is what I would do. And then, do your Patreon stuff. That's where all the real meat and potato stuff will come in, the channelings and things like that, and just some cool stuff. And again, for $10 a month, who the hell doesn't have $10 to throw away $10? We're here every freaking day with Frank. Lunch, out somewhere. $12, $13, $15, every day. Monday through Friday, because we go to lunch. Well, excuse me, Monday through Thursday now. I mean, Wednesday. But it used to be every day. And that would usually be the time I go out or whatever. So, I don't got $10 a month? Are you kidding me? What does that equal per day? Pennies? It's nothing. And the thing is, but at the same time, you could pick something else. Oh, I don't want to give $10 out. I'll give it to something else. To each his own. Great. But I want to help promote some of these people that are aligned with my kind of views, the problems we see, the things we're going to try to do and fix if and when, I do have to say if, but when cryptos do their thing. And she's very adamant. It's going to be, guys, it's going to be 2019's the year. Like she told me on the phone. People are going to be happy in 2018. As we get to the end of the year, you're going to see some nice cryptos, prices and whatnot. People are going to be happy again. She goes, and you're going to see people pay stuff off. Maybe even their houses. If they don't owe as much on their house, like, okay, they've been paying on it for 20 years. They've got 10 years left. Whatever, $70,000, $60,000, $80,000, paid it off. She goes, but it's next year, 2019, when it really, really is going to count. That's when some big, big numbers come in. That's when someone that had a small amount of crypto looks and says, whoa, what did that turn into? That kind of scenario. But again, we got to wait and see. Are these people going to get it? Are they not? Are they? But if they do, and you waited, 2019, let's see what happens. You've missed out. Now you get in, and maybe it'll still get good in 2020, even better. But you're in now at 2019 prices. Just like a lot of people are in now, pick any time this year, even the lowest price points we've seen, such as recently. And they're still quite a bit higher than they were last year. So people getting in even right now, when the markets have been low, really low, is still quite a bit higher than last year. At this time, whatever, up until this time, January, February, March, April, May, June, whatever. So, me, you don't even have to question Snippy's mind. I'm gonna wait this out and see. And she told me, I think I mentioned this again, but she's like, listen, I know your little September thing, pay off the house. She goes, I'm just gonna tell you what I feel is that the fall time of this year, the fall season, winter, spring, summer, fall, and then of course winter's next. She says, I think that's when it's gonna start getting good. But I feel like it's really like kind of more so October than like September, but it'll start. Like, in other words, if you're waiting to the end of September, okay, the market's not great, has come up a little bit, you know what, Evelyn, maybe we should pay the house off. She's like, I feel like if you do that, okay, we did it, and then shortly after there, oh man, why didn't I wait just a little bit longer, because this is getting really good now. Even though 2019 will be much better. But I'll be honest with you guys, if we get back to the all-time high area later this year, and maybe even higher, which I think both she and Michelle White Dove felt would happen. We'd hit the all-time high and go a little bit higher. And the next year would come, and then of course we'd have a little bit of a sell-off. Then it would go again, and she told me this long waiting period we've been doing this year for this. Okay, where's recovery? Hey, where's recovery? Hey, where's recovery? She goes, it's gonna happen again next year. She's like, I can see it, but I'm only halfway through the year. So I got to see what the second part of it has to offer. But so far I've already seen the dip. And instead of this long, it's this long. Oh, that's all you got to wait. Okay, recovery mode just come right back in quickly. A couple months maybe. That's it. Not 5 months, 6 months, you know. That's what she says she saw. So, again, I'm patient. I'm very patient. I'm a big-time hodler. I have a small portion of that. As I say, I trade sometimes. Like I said, I did a little Theta move, did the Ethereum Classic move, did the Bitcoin Gold move. Most of which is an additional hodl for a little bit out there, while out there. Although my Theta, I felt like I'm going to probably get in and out at, well, I'm already in, but I think I'm going to get out at 20 cents. So this is additional Theta than what I've had. Theta that I didn't have before, that I just went out and got yesterday to make this move. Is what I was saying. So it got up to 17.6 or 7 cents. I actually said, okay, I'm already up a good, it's only been a few hours. Let me scrape a small amount of that off there. And I did. And I told everybody in the trade call room that I did that. But I've got some orders stacked, the bulk, where I felt like, yeah, it's going to happen. 20 cents. Is it going to be tomorrow, the next day, next week? Maybe. But that's what my stuff is set up at. So anyway, just want to share that with you. It was really neat hearing that channeling. I'm going to ask if they don't mind. Hey, you care if I share that, video? I don't think they will. It's public on YouTube. To be honest with you, it's public on YouTube. So if it's public on YouTube, and I've already seen 1 or 2 comments from about a month ago, even though this thing's 3 years old, someone's already found it, obviously, from recent times. Again, it's a public video, it's not hidden. So I don't even know that, honestly, that it's not even real. I don't even think it's necessary to ask. I actually feel quite certain about that. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and link it. It was really neat to hear and see. Not that you got to see anything, because it was really audio. And Jared posts pictures of Alaska and things in the background, real nice pictures. But it was like almost past midnight, and I'm like, I just put my phone up here and was just like eyes closed and just kind of listening. Nothing to see, so I'm just like listening, and it's like, oh, it's really neat. I was like, Bill, man, that was pretty cool, man. That was pretty freaking cool. So, anyways, just some thoughts. Just keep in mind that maybe they'll end up doing Patreon here shortly, and she may end up doing a report, kind of like a White Dove report. She's like, she told me, she said, Joe, I've got a lot. She's like, I've actually been working on kind of a report, and not that she thought, well, I'll sell it, but just I've got a report, a bit of detail about all this stuff. She's like, because even Jared, when I tell him something, like, we would shorten it down and just to put it in the video and go to the next one. She's like, but I've got some detail on a lot of this stuff, but I got a bit more work to do on it. And I thought, well, again, you want your husband home. I know you want to give, free, but man, let's be real here. Everybody charges for everything, man. Nothing in life is free. It's true. And it's like, don't be scared to say, you know what, let me charge for this. I said, because what if you sell this report, or maybe, and it might have to be broken down into 2 parts possibly. It could be quite large. But whatever, let's say there's one report, and she makes 50, 60, 80, $1,000 off this thing. Hey, Jared, welcome home. Patreon or no Patreon, Jared, welcome home. You're good. Good for the year. You know what I mean? But don't quit doing the YouTube stuff that Jared's been doing. because the free stuff, like me, like I could have just went straight to a paid website membership and everything JSnip talks about now you're going to have to pay, or I put up my own Patreon. If you want to know what I have to say, you got to pay. Nah. How are people going to get woke if they can't get the free information, right? So that's why I've never changed anything on my YouTube channel. I still talk about cryptos the same way I always would. And usually when I do whether it's some kind of trade call thing, I give to them first. And then later I'll come out after I feel like they've had plenty of time to either get in or, because all the trade call is me telling you what I'm going to do, or Trader Jay telling you what he's going to do, and you either doing it or not doing it. You just follow along if you want. You don't have to if you don't want to. But, get to them first. And then, okay, it's been, 6-8 hours, whatever. You know what, let me go ahead and do a video, tell everybody kind of what I was, doing and why and that kind of thing. Because I feel like if it's like the Bitcoin gold thing, I don't want people, freebie or not, to potentially miss out on this $25 Bitcoin gold, which we've never seen prices like this ever, except, again, a couple days ago it was 22, but that's the time frame I'm talking about. 20-something dollar Bitcoin gold. When that thing ran to $470-something, 72, 73 bucks. 475 would be 19 times your money at 25 bucks if it goes back to where it was. And with Bitcoin, it always retraces at some point higher. So all I'm saying is if it only goes back, and I'm talking regular Bitcoin, goes back to where it was, 10,000, 12,000, 15,000, 20,000. In theory, yeah, it's a possibility. In theory, Bitcoin gold should go back to $400-something. Because when Papa Bitcoin goes, the little baby Bitcoin forks go with it automatically. Every time. So I'm willing to take that chance and say, holy crap, if it just goes back to where it was, maybe it takes a year. Maybe it takes 2 years. Holy crap, Joe, what it took that thing forever. Sorry, guys, you had to wait 2 years for a 16 or 19 times return on your money. Man, please forgive me for bringing that up that one day, in my car, and then the night before that and all that. Please forgive me for making you wait 2 years for a 19x return on your money. Sorry about that. You had $1,000, I turned it into 19,000 for you. 2 years, 2 years all you had to wait. To be honest with you, I don't think we can talk about 2 years. Again, if the end of this year markets go, that's when you'll see it happening. If Bitcoin starts to run up, even before that time, before late year this year, Bitcoin gold will also run up to some level. Maybe it goes to $100. Oh, there's 4 times your money. How's that treating you? You know what I mean? Like, we got to think about these things. So I'm like, yeah, I could have just kept that private and in the trade call group. But I want those people to get it first. Because, you start talking about things and then people share things that someone else said. Hey, this guy's got a good point, man. Let's all get into Bitcoin gold. Next thing you know, Bitcoin gold's going up. It's $26, it's $28, it's $30. My trade call people got to get it first. You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry. But even at $30, maybe you're at $30. Not that you are. I know you're not because I've seen the price. But what if the damn thing ran up to $30? By the time I tell you guys about it, you got to get at 20 or 30 instead of 25. But again, the same math applies. Are you really going to be upset? Well, hey, you got it for free, man. So that's all. I'm just trying to be fair with everybody and do the right thing, business-wise and everything. He's got some, what I'll call previously paying customers because we're not charging at the moment for trade calls. For the people that paid anyways. We're not doing it monthly because we want to put them in some profit before we start charging again. It's that simple. But I'm still going to take care of them in the meantime till we get to that point, you know what I mean? So anyways, a little chat on the way to work. Yeah, just watch the market, same as it was yesterday. We had that little bit of a recovery. Okay, it's just kind of sitting there. Is today going to go down a little bit? Is it going to go back up a little bit like it did yesterday, make a little bit of a recent, high, newer high? Or higher than recently? Don't know, but I'm sure we'll all be watching. So just, plan your trade your plan. I've been out here too many times telling you our market's down, guys. Listen, look, we did this last year. You know, guys, hey, it's me again. Listen, this happened already again last year. You know, third time I'm telling you again. Look, this happened last year. You know, this is our 17th time. It's our 20th time now. Like, hey, this happens. But sometimes your head is just pushed underwater, down market, further than your mind thought it would go. And that triggers, well, my emotions were kind of turned off until I saw the market today. And I've got, you know, $90,000 invested, and now it's down to 70. Oh, man. If it did that, why can't it go lower? Nope, you know, nobody said this was going to happen right now. Everyone else was like, no, it's we're already at the bottom. It actually went down more. Oh, man. Emotion. Uh-oh. But, like Trader Jay said the other day in his video for the trade call people, you should see if you had money that you could afford to lose invested, which is what you should have. That thought and oh no shouldn't even happen. Because remember, if you lost it all, you're okay. It was money you could afford to lose. The problem is when the people are out there who had money they could not afford to lose, even though they knew better, and said, F this is crypto, I'm gambling. And now have to wait. And they're waiting even longer. And what they had, same example, 90,000. Oh, it's 88. It's 85. Oh, man. It's 82. All right, we're at the bottom. Everyone, even Jay Snip, man, he thinks we're at the bottom. 82, up, 80, 70, 75. Now you're starting to panic. You're only starting to panic because you put money in that you could afford, you could not afford to lose. But the same rules apply. In my opinion, hodl through it. If you're down, you don't do it now. Don't get out now. You're already down now. Now you really need to just hodl down and wait it out at this point. So, you know, again, I can't speak for you guys, a bunch of, you know, people, whatever. I can't get inside your head and feel exactly how you feel, the emotions and the whatever and the stress, possibly whatever. I just know what I'm doing, how I feel, and yeah, I didn't feel good to see the market do what it did. Didn't like, oh, it was like, oh, yeah, another beatdown. Oh, here we go. You know, bring my head up for at least one gasp of breath. You know, okay, put me back down now. I can handle it because I know I know you're gonna let me back up. You may trick us, making us think we're never coming back up. I know better. Sure enough, here's my breath. Go ahead and put me back down. Until finally, I'm above water, way above water. You're not putting my head down. You know, not like this anyways. Until next year when they do it again, but maybe it's only a short period of time like Sharon Michelle says. So anyways, I'm at work, gotta run. Just want to give you that little story about Sharon Michelle. And link will be in the description box. I think I'll even pin the first comment with the link in it, make it easier there too. Have a good Tuesday. Take care.